in their area of work, or someone like Preeti Agarwal, founder at Soar to High. Soar to High is a platform for people who are relatively new in their area of work or someone who is doing something extraordinary. Walking on a less traveled road is difficult than as compared to polished road. It gives hope and encouragement to those who are doing it, and also to those who are not feeling confident enough to begin. Cooking is not only about preparing a dish, it involves reading, calculation, adjusting quantities as per individual requirements. Food, chemistry, teamwork, time management, planning, and organizing. So today I have someone with me who is extremely creative in any possible way you can think of. She has a company called Miraki in which she had handcrafted, designed, and painted Zentangle shoes. She had to give up for some health reasons. She didn't stop there. She had an interest in cooking, which she mastered soon. Please welcome Vimki Girya, founder at Gourmetize. A very
Thank
warm
you.
welcome,
Hi.
Vimki.
Hi, Aditi. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. So, Vimki, tell us something about your transition phase from Miraki to Gourmetize.
So actually, my background is graphic design and designing. I've always had a passion for the art and crafts. So cooking also translates into art and crafts. I started my journey first with Meraki, which
Okay.
was an endeavor to put out Zentangle inspired shoes out there. I
Mm-hmm.
started with Zentangle about 6, 7 years ago, and I used to make a lot of Zentangle paintings on my books. Then I thought, why not make it into a product oriented form? So I got this idea of translating them into footwear, not canvas, but I used to use leatherette, which is a synthetic form of leather. But because I handcrafted and painted every shoe by myself, I
Mm-hmm.
developed health issues actually. So I had to slowly phase it out and give it up. Though I received a
Okay.
lot of orders and I used to sell a lot of shoes, but I had to unfortunately give it up. There was an always underlying passion for cooking from a very young age. My mother is an excellent cook, and I come from a foodie based family. We also used to own a restaurant. My father and my brother and uncles, they used to own a restaurant in Chennai. So I do come from a food background as such. And over even while making Meraki, my outlet was cooking. So when I
Okay.
got an opportunity to take part in a cooking competition,
Mm-hmm.
I took part at just a whim. It just came to me that chalo, let's go and take part in a cooking competition. What will happen? Zada se zada, I will lose.
Mm-hmm.
It was not that I was confident, so I just thought, let me just go give it a try,
Yeah.
and I went for it and won as well. So that gave me a big confidence boost to take it up further. And everyone used to encourage me always that why don't you do something when it comes to cooking, whether it is taking orders or just having a small blog out there just to
Mm-hmm.
put out my recipes. So they encouraged me, and then I came about this idea of having a blog.
Okay.
It is the decade of social media and blogging, be it food, be it style, fashion, beauty,
Yeah.
makeup, anything, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I got this idea of creating my blog, and that's how Gourmetized came about.
Okay. So it's been how long you're doing it?
It's been 1.5 years.
Okay, that's superb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you using your cooking experience to expand your business and to earn?
Yeah, so what had happened was the cooking competition which I took part in was
Hmm.
something with a difference. So there they
Okay.
wanted to highlight healthier forms of cooking. So we
Mm-hmm.
had a round which had vegan, we had a round which was using local and sustainable ingredients, which is actually the need of the hour. So when I won the competition, it came, it got publicized everywhere, and there was a cafe in Bangalore which is completely vegan, and the owner approached me to help her out with the menu consultation, and that's where my journey started. Blogging was one part of Gourmetized. The other part was menu consulting for a healthy vegan based cafe, and very soon I started taking monthly cooking classes there as well. which
Okay.
used to promote healthy vegan cuisine
In the cafe itself?
in the cafe itself. Yes.
Oh, that's a different concept totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
So it was basically to promote healthy eating among today's generation, and that's the reason. Apart from serving food, also they believe that it is nice to have a monthly cooking class so that people also can know how to create vegan food.
yeah. So what
Yeah.
is vegan food and how are you making it more interesting and how are you experimenting with it?
Yeah, so vegan, in short words, it is just omitting dairy from your vegetarian cuisine.
Okay.
Vegetarian already omits animal products and eggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It omits that. Vegan goes a step further and eliminates dairy products as well, because it believes
Okay.
that even the dairy comes out of an animal, which is cows or goat or sheep or whatever. So
Mm.
that's what vegan believes. And I am not a practicing vegan myself, but
o-
it made sense to me because veganism also helps in eliminating a lot of health issues in individuals. Okay, so I mean, I believe because of that, vegan also helps a lot of health issues. And the way you can make it creative is, see, you just have to eliminate all the dairy products and replace it with the foods which vegan promotes. So if there's a
Okay.
paneer, there's tofu for it. If there
Mm.
is a normal gai ka doodh, which is a cow's milk,
Mm.
there is a nut or a seed milk or oat milk for it.
Okay.
If there's a curd or a buttermilk, you can easily make it with plant-based milk yogurts as well. So
Oh.
it's easy to substitute it if you know how to do it, and that's where I came in. Once I learned all the technical aspects of making vegan basics, which
Mm.
is the milk and curds and tofu and everything, then it was just a matter of replacing it creatively in your daily ghar ka khana, as
Mm.
well as international and exotic cuisines.
You see. So in taste, do we come to know about vegan and non-vegan? How much difference is in there?
See, there will be a slight difference because since we're used to the taste of milk, when you're
Yeah.
replacing, say, an almond milk or a cashew milk or a soy milk, you
Mm.
will notice the difference a bit. But that's where I came in, as in I experimented with usage of herbs and spices to enhance the flavors and
Okay.
make it as authentic as possible,
Mm.
even if it does not taste exactly like the kali dal which you would get in restaurants, but
Mm.
it would still be nice and rich and full of flavors because the usage of spices and herbs are present.
Mm.
And at the same time, indulge a bit more in it because at least you will not have that fear that, oh my God, it's full of ghee and makhan, you know,
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
So, like, I found that you are not only cooking and writing blogs, and now you have a website also, and you also have
Yes.
interest in teaching. You are taking workshops, and there were a
Yes.
lot of free workshops also, which you did throughout the lockdown.
Yes. So I actually, like I said, I started my teaching journey in the cafe, and I had also done a lot of demos for clubs and farmers markets and exhibitions and all that. So
Okay.
when the lockdown came about, obviously work halted. You couldn't think of a scenario where you're gonna go to different places and teach.
Mm-hmm.
And because lockdown demanded that, people wanted to get creative with their cooking, people wanted to indulge with their favorite dishes, but at the same time they didn't want to step out too much or call for ingredients all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So my first video actually took off in a big way. I thought I'll do a free video so that people find it helpful, and I did a class or a workshop on a bread which had no yeast, no refined flours, that is maida, and very quick. It was a very quick bread recipe which you could do from start to finish in 45 to 50 minutes. And
Okay.
that clicked in a big way, especially because it was free. So people from all over India and neighboring countries as well joined in for that workshop, which I
Mm-hmm.
held in Instagram tandem. And a lot of people joined for it, and that's how I got my followers coming in. They had an interest on what am I teaching, how did she even make the bread without the usage of yeast and maida.
Yeah.
So for health reasons and for time reasons, the video took off in a big way. And my next video, which I thought was making pasta from scratch, the pasta dough from scratch,
Oh,
again because
wow.
people could not go to the markets and pick up pasta packets,
Mm-hmm.
They found it super interesting. So I taught them how to make spaghetti from scratch and quick sauce recipe. So these couple of videos, which I did in the beginning, the free videos, really took off in a big way. And then I realized that because of the whole pandemic and the lockdown, people were having a lot of problems, obviously, since they were working from home,
Yeah.
not earning as much as they can. And so they didn't want to spend. So because of that, I guess my videos took off really well. So much so that in the next 3 months, I had the confidence to launch a website as well.
Wow.
And I just launched a website in July.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, how did you learn all these things? Making pasta, bread, all vegan.
Like I said, I do come from a foodie family. So I've been constantly hands on with my cooking, learning cooking from a young age from my mom and my aunt. I come from a joint family, and I got married in Bangalore. So there were a lot of guinea pigs, luckily, because I am again family, married in a joint family. So I used to love eating food as well. I
Okay.
am a I love experimenting with different cuisines, different cultures, what they like, what the herbs and spices are as particular, when it comes to a particular culture. Like in
Mm-hmm.
our Indian food, there's a lot of, things like bay leaf and dalchini and, elaichi
Okay.
usage kind of food. So I was very curious and inquisitive as to what every culture eats. And I used to love experimenting with different food. And for me, the first thing would be, okay, like I have eaten this in a restaurant. How can I make it at home? So
Mm.
I am self-taught. I have just Googled and tried out recipes, attended chefs' workshops in
Okay.
restaurants when they have their own workshops.
Workshop.
I've attended a lot of webinars. I've done a lot of research. I love to read as well. So I've read a lot of cookbooks, understood what food is, how it's come about. So for me,
Mm.
it's not just copying a recipe from an online blog or something. It's understanding how flavors play an important role, how flours play an important role. So I experimented with different kinds of flours as well, not just atta and maida, whole wheat.
Mm.
I mean, I love to use jawar, amaranth, all different kinds of millet flours as well
Okay.
in my cooking and baking. So there's been a lot of trial error involved, but
Yeah.
now I do have a very good understanding in what works where and how to use every ingredient.
Mm-hmm. So, when anything you try new and it goes bad, then how do you react and what is your step towards it?
So obviously, I do feel discouraged, but not so much so because I understand that, see, for anything, a lot of practice is required.
Yeah.
I just can't magically come up with a recipe and it can't click the first time. So
Mm-hmm.
I make very, very small portions, like one portion or two portions, just a tasting portion to see if it's worked. If it's not, I throw it and I start again.
Okay.
So I have that determination that I have to master a recipe.
Wow.
So,
That
for example,
determination.
something as simple as a khaman dokla, I at least experimented 5 times until I got the correct sponge. I had
Okay.
to keep making it and making it and making it until I was happy with the sponge in my khaman dokla as well.
Yeah. Because it is your passion, that's why you're doing it. Otherwise, a
Yes.
person like me, if it does not work out, maybe I'll try next time. Otherwise, I'll leave it. I'll try
No,
something else.
because it's my passion, I feel I don't want to give up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So recently you also got felicitated by Indian Health and Wellness Council. Tell us about
Yes.
that. And you are a brand ambassador also in.
Yeah. So actually, thanks to the pandemic, thanks to coronavirus, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done a lot of what do you say? Tried to bring a lot of awareness of different kinds of health issues which we Indians face because
Mm,
uh, they believe that health starts from within. So we health bloggers, some of the health bloggers of every city were
mm,
approached by IHW Council to help them promote, health,
mm,
health to promote good food. And because I, as a healthy food blogger, already promote, eating healthy, eating right, replacing refined flours and replacing non-veg with vegetarian food.
Yeah.
So I was one of the few lucky bloggers who were approached by them, wherein we had to
Okay.
give in a few recipes of ours. Every blogger had to give in a few recipes of ours so that they could use it for their website as well. And in
Okay.
turn, we had to promote their flyers and posters everywhere so that awareness is built among Indian public. The way nowadays is through social media. You know, you can only promote anything through social media the best right now. So
Yeah.
we bloggers were also asked to promote it in our blogs
Okay.
and about new recipes. And basically, that 1 week, which was the nutrition
Mm-hmm.
week in September, we had to promote good food. We had to promote healthy cuisines as well as promote their own endeavor, which they had everyday talks with different top nutritionists of India on how to eat better, for be it for children or for adults or for above 60 people, and take care of your health so that you're protected in this pandemic. So
Okay.
that's where we bloggers came in, and we were awarded the certificate by the IHW Council.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations once again for
Thank you
that.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah. And Vimki, what would you like to suggest to the upcoming chefs and bloggers out of your experience?
So basically, see, in one aspect, I would like to promote. I mean, my journey, how I got into healthy food. Like I said, I've always been a foodie, but once I hit my 30s, I
Hmm.
realized that you are what you eat. You know, your metabolism is not the same. You have health issues, skin issues, hair issues,
Yeah.
everything comes about. And if you change your diet,
Yes.
if you make smart adjustments in your food, like I
Yes.
know anyone like to eat a dessert or a cake or a cookie, but if you make
Mm-hmm.
smart changes as to, you know, the kind of sugar you're using in it, the kind of flour you're using in it, it makes a
Hmm.
hell lot of sense. And then you'll avoid going to doctors. You'll avoid running behind fads, you know, ye diet kar lo, wo diet kar lo.
Ah.
The best part is, you know, if you just take care of your food, you can still indulge with your favorite junk food as well. One sec. Yeah. So you can still indulge in your junk food as well. And I would love to tell the bloggers out there, the chefs out there, that, you know, everything else is fine, but you must also have a section in your repertoire or your menu where you're promoting healthy food. And when it comes to social media, I would say that be true to yourself when you're publishing a post or you know, anything, be it food or be it anything else, beauty,
Hmm.
style. Be true to yourself. Try to be as organic as possible in you know, getting followers, because ultimately, you know, paying for it or promoting it does not work. Don't run behind likes, run behind followers. Your work will speak for yourself. Let it be slow and steady. I have been very, very slow and steady in building my brand as well. Word of mouth really helps. I have
Yes.
not reached, you know, 2K, 3K or 10K followers as yet, though I
Hmm.
see a lot of, you know, who started with 200, you know, before lockdown, and right now they're already at 10K or 30K, 40K.
Okay.
So that does not matter. Your work has to speak for yourself. And word of mouth, after all, at the end of the day, you want to sleep with a good conscience that, you know, हाँ मैंने जो
Have done.
मेहनत की,
Ah.
work I did, uh, those are what are producing
Fruitful. Yes.
results.
Definitely. You know, and if
So
it's your own creation, you feel good. And if it's a
yeah,
copy
you'll feel
somewhere or
much
the
better
other,
if it's
you
come
hesitate.
because of your hard work and your creativity.
Yes. So
Yes.
great thought and great advice, Vimki. And it was
Thank
my
you.
pleasure to talk to you today. And we wish you more success. And we look forward for more recipes and more healthy items from your end.
Thank you so much, Aditi, for and So Too High for having me here. It was really nice talking to you, and I hope at least somewhere I have touched somebody's life, and
Yes.
my words have helped someone there.
Yes, it will be, don't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.